Yeah.
Welcome to the Whittier Regional Vocational Technical High School School Committee meeting for Wednesday, February 13th. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public comment? Is there any public comment? None being heard. We'll move on to the approval of the
Mr. Chairman,
minutes. Yes, Mr.
I'd like to
Tucker.
move the approval of last month's meeting, January 9th.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Treasurer's report, Mr. Lesage. All in favor?
Aye.
Old business, there's none posted, so we'll move on to reports and communications by the student rep, and
He's not here today.
he's not here
Suspend him.
today. You want to fill in, Paul, for him?
I can read his report as good as he can.
I don't know. Let's move on. Superintendent's report.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Before you tonight, for informational purposes, our personnel actions of hires a security officer, part-time security officer, MCAS ELA grade 10 MCAS after-school program, our evening school positions, and spring musical hit orchestra. Also, a resignation of a plumbing instructor. Budget update, the executive subcommittee met earlier this evening, and we reduced the budget from 4.83% to a 3.25% budget increase for next year. The November MCAS are in. Whittier had 3 juniors take the ELA MCAS, and all 3 passed. Whittier had 14 juniors take the math MCAS, and 8 passed. The 6 students who have not yet passed will retake again on March 7th and 8th. The class of 2019, we have 100% ELA, 100% math, and a 99.8% biology. We have 1 student left to pass the biology. Class of 2020, 100% ELA, 98.2% math, 95.3% biology. We had 10 juniors and 1 senior take the biology MCAS retest on February 6th and 7th. Whittier is currently running a Title I program for grade 10 students to prepare for the ELA MCAS at the end of March, and a math MCAS program for 6 juniors who will retake in 4 weeks. On Friday, June 11th, I hosted Representative Vargas. He toured the school, and we were able to discuss vocational education in the district and our hopes and dreams of the future. On Monday, January 14th, I attended the Merrimack Valley Chamber Annual Mayors and Managers Breakfast at Andover Country Club. Local mayors, including the mayor from Haverhill, Newburyport, and Amesbury, were in attendance. On Monday, January 14th, I attended the MAVA meeting at DESE. We met with the commissioner and his vocational team. We discussed vocational funding and expanding access to all students. On Wednesday, March 16th, I attended the Merrimack Valley Superintendent's Association Breakfast Club at Lanham Club. The commissioner was in attendance and gave us a brief overview of where he sees education going in the Commonwealth. On Thursday, January 17th, I attended the Ipswich School Committee meeting along with Gary James and Kara Cosmas. We provided a brief overview of enrollment and an update on Whittier's programs. On Friday, January 18th, I attended the North Shore Superintendent's Roundtable Legislative Breakfast at Essex Tech. Legislators from our communities discussed Chapter 70 funding and how the foundation formula needs to be updated. On Thursday, March 24th, I attended the Mass Midwinter Meeting. On Thursday, January 24th, I attended a turf field meeting along with Kara Cosmas, Chris Laganis, and Bob Hardy. On Friday, January 25th, I attended the MAVA Board of Directors meeting at Assabet Valley Tech. I've been doing a lot of driving. On Thursday, January 31st, I attended a meeting at Blackstone Valley Tech to discuss concerns with funding, Chapter 74 approval, and legislative initiatives. On Thursday, February 7th, Whittier hosted the Haverhill Rotary Luncheon. I want to thank Kara Cosmas for speaking so eloquently to our guests. I wasn't supposed to be there, and she filled in for me. On Friday, February 8th, I attended the North Shore Superintendent's Roundtable. And on Monday, February 11th, I attended the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce, a special report from Washington meeting. This meeting was in Andover. Congressman Seth Moulton and Congresswoman Laurie Trahan were in attendance. And I had an opportunity to meet Congresswoman Trahan, and she's looking forward to coming for a visit at Whittier. So we're looking to setting up that date with her. Community service activities, culinary arts. We were scheduled today to go to the Georgetown Council on Aging for a Valentine's luncheon, but because of the weather, we rescheduled and postponed it to February 27th. In carpentry, we're doing a trophy case, and that will be completed, delivered, and installed this week. In metal fabrication, a request from the Amesbury Public Schools to fabricate new school letters for the Cashman School, and that project is just about complete. The principal came over the other day to look at the letters, so we're looking at how we're going to hang them. And then we had a Rotary luncheon held last Thursday at the Poets Inn. Establishment of scholarships. According to the school committee manual, scholarships are accepted by the school committee. Newburyport 5-Cent Savings Bank is donating a $1,000 scholarship. I'd like to thank Lloyd Hams, President and CEO of the bank. I respectfully request the school committee to accept the scholarship.
All in favor? Aye.
Aligned Credit Union is donating a $500 scholarship to benefit a graduating senior. I'd like to thank Kelly Tahan of Aligned Credit Union for the scholarship. I request the school committee acceptance of the scholarship.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The Provident Bank is donating two $500 scholarships to benefit a graduating senior. I would like to thank David Mansfield, CEO of the Bank of Provident Bank, for these generous scholarships. I respectfully request the school committee's acceptance of these.
Move we accept.
All in favor?
Aye.
I have two field trip requests. So they're overnight. So one is for the DECA State Conference, and that is scheduled for March 7th through March 9th. We have, right now, 7 students attending that conference.
You call it the DECA?
DECA. You want to know what that means, and I don't really know.
DECA.
DECA, yeah. Thank you, yes. Something like that. Yeah.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Early.
do we have the right paperwork in
We will have the right
line?
paperwork before they go.
Thank you.
Do we need a vote on that? Do you have a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The next one is a cheerleading competition. This is not an overnight, but they are going out of state. They're going to Derry, New Hampshire at Pinkerton Academy.
Wow. All the way up to Derry, huh?
Mr. Early.
We have the right paperwork in line?
We will have the right paperwork before they go.
Thank you.
Do you have a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And that's all I have for you this evening.
Principal's report. Mr. Ladanis.
With the statement of interest.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Superintendent Lynch, rest of the school committee members. If you can believe it, the school year is it's at the halfway point, and today was the 106th day of school. All students have completed their midterm exams, and third quarter has begun. The freshmen today, they have chosen the shops, but today was the first day in their shops. The guidance team are wrapping up interviews in the middle schools after vacation. They have left Haverhill's, Hunking, and Constantino. Also, Ryan Richards, our wrestling coach, this year put together a wrestling tourney that was held Saturday, February 2nd, called the Travis Shell Memorial Dual Tournament that was held at Whittier. It was a great event. The gymnasium was full of wrestlers, parents, schools that participated: Whittier, Essex Tech, Gloucester, Triton, Pawtucket, and Bristol Aggie. Triton ended up winning 5-0. They had a 5-0 record in the tourney. But the tourney raised $1,000 towards a scholarship for a Whittier student. Also, the Booster Club ran the concession stand and made over $800 that day. So quite a successful tourney. And I thank Ryan Richards and Kevin Bradley as the AD and the rest of the wrestling coaches and the kids and the parents for a great day that day. Also this year, as you heard, the school play of the musical is Curtains, and it's going to be held on March 22nd, 23rd, 24th, and the casting and rehearsing you see is going on every day after school today. So, and I'll come back with some more stats and the times the next time around. So that's all I have for you today.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
No, on this.
okay.
Are we supposed to, is the thing here about voting on the building authority? Are we supposed to vote on that tonight?
That's next.
Well, that's next.
On the business manager.
Well, but that was part of, underneath your report.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Business manager.
You beat me to the punch, Mr. LaBella. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Madam Superintendent, members of the committee. We are again requesting your approval as we plan to submit our fifth statement of interest to the Massachusetts School Building Authority for renovation of this building. But before we can do that, it needs a vote of the school committee, and the vote has to be the exact wording that's in your packet. The motion has to be the
Motion.
wording.
Do we have a motion?
So moved. I'll move to, accept it or second, whichever.
It must be read.
Okay. This right here.
Statement of interest.
Yeah.
Superintendent's recommendation that the school committee vote to authorize the superintendent to submit to the Massachusetts School Building Authority the statement of interest from form dated January 31st, 2019 for the Whittier Regional Vocational Technical High School located at 115 Amesbury Line Road, Haverhill, Massachusetts, which describes and explains the following deficiencies in the priority categories for which an application may be submitted to the Massachusetts School Building Authority in the future as noted in priorities 3, 4, 5, and 7 of this application regarding total renovation of existing building and systems updates project. And hereby further specifically acknowledges that by submitting this statement of interest form, the Massachusetts School Building Authority in no way guarantees the acceptance or the approval of an application, the awarding of a grant, or any other funding commitment from the Massachusetts School Building Authority, or commits the Whittier Regional Vocational Technical High School to filing an application for the funding with the Massachusetts School Building Authority.
Thank you, Mr. Tucker. Do we have a second? All in favor? Any questions?
I
Mr.
have a quick question.
Early.
Roughly, what's this cost us every time we apply?
It costs us nothing.
Doesn't cost anything?
No,
doing it?
no,
Okay.
there's no
Thank you.
cost.
Mr. LaBella, do you have a question? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
The cost comes
Yeah.
when they approve it, so let's hope that the fifth time is a charm. Thank you. The second thing is, in working on this childcare project, I know last month you authorized the special revenue fund. We were told by the Inspector General's office that in order for the district to move forward, under Mass General Laws, Chapter 30B, Section 16, real property, the school committee must first declare the space available for use with the restriction that it be used only as an early child care center or similar educational purpose, and that the use be compatible with the functioning of the school. There is a description of the area in your packet, but I didn't know if you thought that I should read it for the record.
Mr. Tucker?
Did we not vote on something similar last meeting?
You voted on allowing us to set up a fund for the revenue. This is actually, you as a school committee have to declare the space available, that you're aware that there is space in this building that can be used for this purpose, and that you're authorizing us to go forward and allow people to use it.
But this is directly related
Yes,
to
it
the
is.
same project. Okay, I move to accept this recommendation.
Second.
Discussion, Mr. Early.
I have one quick question. You have a designated area already for this?
I will read you the description.
Thank you.
2 second-floor classrooms on the southwestern side of the building, currently identified as room numbers 2006 and 2008, with an existing walk-through hallway, which leads to a 231-square-foot area consisting of a bathroom, an office area, and an area that presently houses a washer and dryer. Size of the total area is 1,881 square feet.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there any other questions? All in favor? Aye.
And the last thing I wanted to share with you was last week we were informed that our excess and deficiency was certified. That was on February 28th, and we received notification from the Department of Revenue that we have been certified in the amount of $838,397. Anybody have any questions on that? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Moving on, committee chairperson, I'm standing in for Alana tonight. School committee self-evaluation was passed out. Everybody receive one?
I didn't get one.
Oh. In this packet?
Where is it?
Just handed it out
It was
to you.
passed out this evening.
Good. What is it?
Self-evaluation.
I don't know. Where is it here?
Stand by. We'll get them out.
I got it right here.
Oh, okay. These need to be filled out and submitted as soon as possible. Everybody's got one. Thank you.
Great.
Are there any questions on it?
Together, everyone achieves more.
And this is for March.
You all set with that? Okay. Budget review. Want to give us an overview of that?
Sure, in my report I gave, so at our
It's an
last,
agenda item for next month, doesn't it say for March? It
Pardon?
says, under this, it says, these are the agenda items for next month,
March.
March.
Well, we're passing this out, and we want it back for March.
You want the budget back?
No, the
I know
self-evaluation.
that, I meant the budget.
The budget,
I can just give a quick summary.
Summary of it.
We were at 4.83% last month. We've been able to really look at the budget and assess our needs. And what we're looking at now is a budget of 3.25%, which includes a capital assessment. So we're feeling pretty happy about that number and moving forward. So I want to thank everybody for their help and support in kind of going through the budget. So the next meeting, we will go line by line and look at the entire budget in whole.
so we'll review the whole thing next month, and then we vote on it,
Yes. And then we have a public hearing.
and then we vote on it again, and that comes up in April.
Yes. Yep,
The time that we should show up here.
5 o'clock.
Okay.
Subcommittee reports, executive. The minutes are in your package.
Move to accept.
Have a second? Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Instructional personnel,
We have not met.
okay. Moving down, plant operations, Mr. Tucker.
Center operations met, and we have minutes. Well, the minutes from the previous meeting, but right now, I'd like to report that the turf field is going according to plan. They've got they're breaking it up into 3 sections, and hopefully it should all be done in the next year or two. There were some details at the meeting, but basically, they formulated a financial plan to get us where we want to go. I'll move to accept the plant op meetings of January 9.
Second?
Not gonna second, only because it says I made the motion to support the sign. I didn't make the motion because I voted against it, so these minutes aren't accurate.
You did?
Yes.
Well, you can still make the motion and vote against it, though.
It says I made them, it doesn't
Oh.
reflect that I voted against it. Dick wanted the Cadillac, I was looking for the Kia. So,
How'd that work out?
Let's take that meeting.
it's a different perspective in life.
Well, then, we have to amend this.
Just the common man.
We have to amend the
You have
minutes.
to amend the
then.
minutes.
Yeah.
So does anyone remember who made the motion to
Sure as
accept?
heck wasn't me.
Could you repeat that, please?
So we need to, by motion, Mr. Woods made the motion, seconded by Mr. Early, to approve the resolution sign proposal. Mr. Wood is saying that he did not make the motion, that Mr. Early seconded. Does anyone remember who actually made the
I
motion?
believe I did.
So you made the actual
I made
motion.
the actual
Do
motion.
we know who made, seconded?
I did. Oh, no, I would have been
Believe you
chairman.
can't, you're the chair.
Tony?
My father's favorite car.
Let's focus on this.
Okay, so motion made by Mr. Early, seconded by Mr. Lesage to approve the high resolution sign proposal in the amount of $25,645.
Unanimous except for Scott.
It was not unanimous.
You
It was approved with one opposed.
Voted
Voted no.
no. Okay,
So we have to vote
So I
on,
would like to make a motion to accept the minutes as amended.
Second, all in favor of accepting the revised?
Aye.
Okay.
this is why I should never take the minutes. This was me.
Oh,
Thanks, Scott.
And that's all for Plant Top.
Salary negotiations, Mr. Early.
we had a meeting January 16th, of which I believe we're going to go into executive session to talk about it.
Could a motion to approve those minutes? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Policy. Mr. Irving's not here this evening. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes for the
So
policy?
moved.
Second? Okay, all in favor?
Can I speak a little bit about the use of building
Yes.
procedures? So from the minutes, we really looked at a policy or a procedure as far as renting the school. We asked our attorneys to take a look at it. They made significant changes and have now made it a policy. So that's why we are asking, we need to have another policy meeting to discuss those changes, and then we will bring it back to the entire board at the next meeting. So we're going to table that for right now. Or actually remove, because we're going to put a whole new policy there.
Do we need to schedule a meeting
Yes.
at this time?
We'll do that. So,
Want to do it now, or you want to do it
yeah, let's do it
later?
now. March 6th, if we could do a policy meeting on March 6th.
Who's on?
Who's on policy?
No one here?
No one here.
Okay. All right.
It's Alana, Joanne, and.
Yeah, they're all on
Dave.
policy. All right, well, I'll try to set up a meeting for March 6th, and I'll let you know. Ben?
Yep. All right, moving on. Meeting dates. Budget workshop will be March 13th at 5 PM. That's right before our next meeting, right?
Yes.
Regular school committee meeting will follow, March 13th at 6:30. New business. There is no new business posted,
This is what you need.
and I need an executive. We're going into executive session. I need a motion to enter into executive session to conduct contract negotiations with non-union personnel.
A second.
Clear facilities manager, and upon completion of executive session, we will return to open session. We need a roll call vote. Mr. Early?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. LaBella?
Yes.
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 If I could have
She
Kara
votes
Cosmas
yes.
stay as well?
Okay. Okay, we're back into open session, and we will be voting on the facilities manager's contract. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, just for the record, my
Yes.
opposition is not based on the individual or the job performance. It's relative to now making this a contracted position. Nothing to do with the individual and his job performance.
Okay, point taken. Thank you. Do we need to do a roll call for this one? Need to do a roll call vote for this contract, Mr. Early?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
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 Motion to
Now we need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.